Have you ever noticed something strange? 3 hours ago, I almost deleted this entire channel. Not because nobody watched, not because I got hate comments, but because I looked at my analytics and realized I was about to repeat the same mistake I've made for years. The mistake that destroys almost every goal you've ever started. And it has nothing to do with motivation. It has everything to do with day 2. There's a rule I learned called the 2 a.m. rule. I won't explain it yet, but if you understand it, you'll never look at consistency the same way again. Let's be honest, most of us aren't bad at starting. We are bad at continuing. You've started workouts, started studying, started waking up early, started businesses, started YouTube channels, started habits, started changing your life, and then day 2 happened, or day 3, or day 7, and suddenly the excitement disappeared. Here's something nobody talks about. Motivation is a terrible employee. It shows up late, leaves early, and disappears when you need it most. But here's what your brain doesn't want you to know. Most people think consistency fails because they lack discipline. That's not true. Consistency fails because they built their plan around a feeling, and feelings expire. I read once that motivation creates action, but motivation itself is often triggered by novelty. New things feel exciting. Your brain releases dopamine. You feel unstoppable for about 72 hours. Then reality arrives, and that's when the battle starts. Not between you and the goal, between two versions of you, future you and current you. Future you wants the six-pack. Current you wants the pizza. Future you wants financial freedom. Current you wants another hour scrolling. Future you wants confidence. Current you wants comfort. And current you always has one advantage. He's here right now. Stop the video if this is making you uncomfortable, because it should. I know this because this morning I literally stared at my laptop and thought, who am I kidding? This channel is tiny. Nobody cares. Maybe I should quit before I embarrass myself. Not last year. Not some dramatic story from my past. This morning. And that's exactly why this video exists. Because if you've failed 10 times already, you're not broken. You're normal. But here's the part nobody tells you. The people you admire aren't better at starting. They're better at surviving day 2. Think about this. Nobody becomes confident by starting. Nobody becomes fit by starting. Nobody becomes successful by starting. The world doesn't reward day 1. The world rewards day 100. Day 1 feels heroic. Everyone posts about day 1. Everyone announces day 1. Everyone gets excited about day 1. But day 2? Day 2 is boring. Day 2 is silent. Day 2 gets no applause. And that's why day 2 matters. Because day 2 is where identity begins. Not results. Identity. Wait, this is the part where 90% quit watching. Every time you return after not feeling like it, you cast a vote. A vote for the type of person you are. You aren't trying to become consistent. You're proving that you're someone who comes back. Huge difference. And if you're still watching right now, you're already ahead of most people. Seriously. Because 99% of people love self-improvement content, but very few actually stay long enough to hear the uncomfortable truth. The uncomfortable truth is this. Consistency isn't an action. It's an identity. But here's the part nobody tells you. One skipped day 2 doesn't just cost you one day. It costs the future version of you months later. Imagine 2 people. Both start today. Both are motivated. Both are excited. Both say, this time will be different. Person A misses day 2. Person B shows up. Not perfectly. Just shows up. 30 days later, the difference looks tiny. 6 months later, they look like completely different people. Why? Because consistency compounds. Just like money. Just like skills. Just like confidence. Every day 2 you skip sends a message to your brain. We don't follow through. And the scary part? Your brain remembers. Not consciously. Identity-wise. Most people will skip this next part. Don't be most people. That's why every failed attempt feels heavier than the last one. Because you're carrying evidence. Evidence that says we always quit. That's why starting gets harder every year. Not because the goal changed, because your self-image changed. But here's the part nobody tells you. The same mechanism works in reverse. One kept promise can start rewriting everything. And in a minute, I'll show you exactly how. Remember when I said I almost deleted this channel today? Here's what happened. I opened the analytics. The views were lower than I hoped. The growth was slower than I wanted. And for a few minutes I felt stupid. Then I remembered something. The goal of day one was never success. The goal of day one was earning day two. That's it. Not results. Not validation. Not applause. Just another repetition. Because consistency isn't built when you're excited. It's built when excitement leaves. But here's what your brain doesn't want you to know. And suddenly everything clicked. I didn't need proof this channel would work. I needed proof that I would return tomorrow. That's when I remembered the 2 a.m. rule. Here's the 2 a.m. rule. Imagine it's 2 a.m. Nobody is watching. Nobody is clapping. Nobody is liking your posts. Nobody is validating your effort. Would you still do it? Because that's who you really are. Not when motivation is high. Not when life is easy. At 2 a.m. In the dark. When nobody cares. The people who win aren't special. They're just the people who keep showing up at 2 a.m. Metaphorically. Day after day. And maybe that's the only thing you need to hear today. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need more motivation. You don't need another productivity hack. You need day 2, then day 3, then one more day, and one more after that. So here's my question. What's the thing you've restarted the most times in your life? Gym, studying, business, content creation? Comment it below. And this time don't focus on day 1. Win day 2. The version of you 6 months from now is either thanking you for subscribing today or cursing you for skipping it. Because day 3 starts with what you do right after this video. Don't let him down again. Subscribe if you're done breaking promises to yourself.